Perrin Lovett with Prepper News Weekly on this final Friday of September 2018. Happy fall to everybody across America. I'm going to keep this short. I'm going to talk about the big ticket item, which of course is happening in Washington right now. The confirmation proceedings for Judge Brett Kavanaugh for the Supreme Court. I read a report, well, I've been reading them for the past 2 weeks, but again this morning it appears that they have the votes both in the committee and in the Senate in general, and that he will in fact be confirmed, even after the ridiculous circus that has taken place these past 10 to 14 days. I just checked, before I started this, I just checked in with the Drudge Report, and it seems that the committee is voting now. They were supposed to go in session at 9:30. It's now 10:20, and it appears that the Democrats have all walked out, or most of them have walked out, which is just as well, because if you watched yesterday's circus show trial, the Dog and Pony Show with Dr. Ford and Judge Kavanaugh, you realized, I mean, unless you're psychotic, you realize that this is nothing but a political sideshow. I do not believe any of the accusations. I think Dr. Christine Ford is lying. I think all of the other accusers are either lying or kind of like the stripper with the burner phone. They don't exist. But it did not happen. Nothing happened. You had her story. You had his story, completely at odds, total denial. Then you had the inconsistencies in her story. You had the unspoken motivation and the strange timing. And then you had the total lack, 100% lack of corroboration, which to an independent trier of law and fact renders only one conclusion. It didn't happen. And this nonsense about, will you submit to an FBI investigation? Will you call for an FBI investigation? Why hasn't the FBI investigated? Well, the FBI has investigated something like 6 times in this matter. And I'm very, very pleased with the way the judge handled himself yesterday. Came out, he did exactly what you should do in these situations. You never apologize, and you hit them right back. You take no prisoners. These people are never going to be your friends. They have motivation, and you just cannot give them an inch. So good job. And the guy who really almost totally stole this show, who I'm very proud of, is Senator Lindsey Graham. Derek, over at One Way yesterday, asked the rhetorical question, is it just me, or is Lindsey Graham a different person since John McCain has been gone? Yeah, he is. For whatever reason, he's found himself as a real American senator, and he took no prisoners yesterday. I hope you YouTube his remarks. They were 5 or 10 minutes of Lindsey Graham that was really great. But anyway, that matter is going to be behind us. The real underlying story there's an air of desperation. That's why all these fake accusations came up. There are certain things in motion that certain people on that committee and in the Senate and in the deep state don't want to happen, such as the declassifying of the FISA files and the FISA warrant applications. Some things are going to come out, and apparently an offer was made. They bring these accusations knowing that the declassification is on its way. They bring the accusations, and then they say they have a little bit of leverage. They say, hey, you know what? We'll drop all of this sexual harassment nonsense if you don't declassify that information. And the word went out from the White House that, too bad, you know what? My guy's going to be confirmed anyway, and I'm going to release the information. And all that information is under review for national security purposes right now. They overplayed their hand, and for once you can take pride if you're a Republican, because your party, many of them, actually stood up and fought. For 50 years it's been their job to lay down and just be run over by this idiotic communist playbook that is so predictable. In this case, the playbook was taken from the Democrats and used to beat them about the head and shoulders, to the point, I guess, that they had to walk out of the committee today. But I realized yesterday afternoon, I think I would support an FBI investigation in this case. Maybe not the FBI, maybe an MPC investigation is in order. Not of Judge Kavanaugh. There's nothing there. I would investigate these accusers and their backers, their financiers, certain members of the committee, many members of the deep state, the various enemies of the American people in the fake news media. Maybe there needs to be an investigation for perjury, obstruction of justice, and sedition, enemy activities within this country. And, there are many rumors that is what's coming. And that's the prepper angle. If you want to know what to keep prepping for, if certain things happen, there's going to be some civil unrest. And that civil unrest can be put down pretty fast, but it may generate several days or weeks of discomfort that you might want to be prepared to ride out. Anyway, other things happened. There's always something going on in the news. Hurricane recovery is still underway. The North Carolina, South Carolina rivers did not stop cresting from Hurricane Florence until early this week. So there's always something going on out there. I'm going to stop having talked about the big story. If anything comes up stupendous, anything crazy happens, and there's always something crazy happening, but if something really crazy happens, I'll put out an update somewhere. Otherwise, I should, all things being equal, see you back next Friday for another exciting episode of Prepper News Weekly. You guys have a great weekend. MAGA.